Hey guys, in this episode of Gogopreneur, we have Vilma Núñez, and I got to meet Vilma at the top 10 influencers. When I got to meet Tony Robbins, she was in the room. She was sitting a couple of seats down from me. She showed up in a beautiful green dress, and we got to have lunch together. I got to meet her for about 2 days, and then, you know how life goes. We both went back to our busy lives. But I wanted to interview her because she's an immigrant. She's a super smart woman. She carries herself very well. She has a university. She teaches in her own Spanish language, right? So she teaches in Spanish. Her community, millions and millions of people have learned marketing from her. She's considered the best Spanish marketer as a woman in the Spanish world, and I'm super excited to get to interview her. By the way, she also has a Ph.D. in advertising and public relations. So not only that she is smart on paper, she has put that, what she learned, to good use and practices it every single day and teaches millions and millions of people how to become really good at advertising. She helps them build funnels. She helps them with the mindset. So today, let's get to know Vilma.
Welcome to Gogopreneur, where Gogo Bethke, your host, interviews badass rock star entrepreneurs of the world, figuring out who they are, how they got to where they're at, and the lessons they learned along the way, so you can learn those lessons and turn it into money. Let's go get them.
Thank you so much for being here today. I just wanted to have a good old conversation with you, from one immigrant to another, from one entrepreneur, multimillionaire to another, from one marketer to another, right? So I just wanted the world to get to know you in the non-Spanish world.
Yes, I'm ready, baby.
So tell me a bit about you. Let's start at childhood. Where were you born? Where did you were raised?
I'm from Dominican Republic. And it's very funny because my mom flew to New York so I can be like an American citizen, because she thought that it could be like better possibility in the future for me. But then she regretted and she came back to Dominican because she was pursuing her happiness. And 36 years later, I was like an American because of my personal brand. And I called my mom crying and said, Mom, it took me 36 years, but it was meant to be. I was meant to be an American also. So my story is like to be an immigrant, like in different times in Italy, in Spain, in United States, and even in my own country. Because when you were raised like in a small town in Italy, where everybody knew everybody, and then you go back to your country without even know how to write or speak in Spanish, it was really hard for me. So I discovered that you can be an immigrant also in the country that you were born. That was
I got asked to do a TED Talk back at home this year, right? So it's my first TED Talk. It's my first speaking engagement at home in Hungarian, right? And of course, I go straight to a TED Talk. But I realized, I'm like, I don't even know if I know how to speak, like how to do a speaking engagement in Hungarian. Like, even though Hungarian is my own language, I only spoke Hungarian for the first 21 years of my life. I never had to learn the business language, like the lingo that we do here. So I was like, I don't even know how to say mindset in Hungarian. I'm like, I had to Google.
Or ChatGPT. Now we have AI.
Exactly. I'm like, how do you say mindset? And my sister goes mindset. I'm like, oh, you guys say it in English? So it's like, I totally agree. I agree with you that we become a little bit of an immigrant in our own country too, because we change. Like, I got to live a bit Americanized, right? And I live life a little differently now. So when I go home, I'm as much of a immigrant there probably than I am here. So when did you move here, though?
Yes, I moved to United States 9 years ago. Actually, I was celebrating just like a few days ago, and we were celebrating, talking about all the things that we achieved that we couldn't even like think about those things that were possible for us, because my husband is from Spain, but he was also an immigrant in US. And, we came here only with suitcase. He bring like his golf things. I went with my iMac because I was like, okay, I'm a creator, so I am a digital marketer, so I need my computer. And then we start like from beginning, like from scratch. And I always knew like the plan B, like coming back to Spain or coming back to DR, it was an amazing plan B. So people is so afraid to make like brave decisions, but even your plan B, C, D, F, it doesn't matter what letter, is an amazing plan, because if you can come back, you will never be the same person. You will be a better person. So we discovered that we were pursuing like the progress. And when you are pursuing your progress, it's always going to get better. I know it's not easy. Being an immigrant is not easy, but I had to be honest. It's after being in Italy and Spain, it's easier to do it in US because here I discovered that we have more opportunity, you know? And here you don't have to play the victim card. It doesn't work. You cannot play the victim card in the United States. Like, you know, you had to be a leader. You had to make an effort. Instead of excuses, you have to make an effort. And you have to work so people will hear your voice. Because otherwise, you'll be like following others' dreams. So it
I
be
didn't
like...
come. Yeah, I didn't come to America to build somebody else's dream, right?
Yes, that's what I said to people, like, what I should do. And I'm like, you should get straight with what you want. Because when you don't know what you want, you will do whatever other person will tell you to do because they know what they want. But for many people, it's so hard to really be honest with themselves. Like, this is the life that I want, and then I had to pay the price today, so I don't have to pay the price later. That's one of the quotes from Elena Grant Cardone that I really like it. And it's that way. A lot of people see your success and they're like, oh my goodness, I want that. And I'm like, no, you don't want, because you don't want to pay with the habits that we have, with the effort, with the time, with the money that we spend. So maybe you want my life and my success, but you don't want the price for that life.
Yeah, there's a cost. There's a cost to the game, right? So let me understand, how did you end up in Italy from the Dominican Republic? So you were born in the Dominican?
Yes. And then my mom, I was 5 years old, and she was like, I don't want to be here anymore. My sister lives in Italy. Let's go to her. And I was like, I was only 5. I couldn't make a decision. I was like, okay, let's go. And actually, I'm really grateful for that opportunity, because that was like the slow life, you know? Slow, very slow. And then I came back to Dominican Republic, and then because of my decision to grow and because I really believe in education, so I went to Spain. And it was like slow, but not that slow as it used to be in Italy. And then we moved, my husband and I, from Spain to the United States.
I'm going to stop you there. So in Spain, where you met your husband?
Yes.
And then in Spain, where you got your Ph.D. And then you meet your husband. How did you meet your husband, and what is his name?
It's Jose, his name. And it was actually pretty fun, because I used to have a boyfriend before I met my husband. And he played, I'm going to be your friend. I believe in you. I believe in your passion for digital marketing. And I remember we were like at this like marketing event that he used to go because he's a programmer, and he said like all the good chicks were at marketing event, not at the programming event. So that was his strategy. Yes, you know, before Tinder and all those things. And we met, and it was like it was love at the first moment, at the first clip, because he really believed in my passion. So he became like an investor, like an invisible investor, but it was in the emotional part. It wasn't about the money or the financial part. So he started to believe. Yes. And also he was the guy that bring you flowers, and then he programmed me like my first blog, you know? So he was like, I believe in you. You should be a blogger. Take here, I'm going to create your blog, and then the flowers. So it wasn't like I had to choose between the flower guy or the guy that support my purpose, my mission. So it was really beautiful. We started like a friendship relation, and then we went to like being like a couple. We start to living together, and then we start like dreaming together, because sometimes couples live together, but they don't dream together. Like, how is the future looks for you? And he was like, I want something bigger, and I know this is not going to be Spain. And I said, that happened to me. I think that's going to be US. But I was like, hey, I'm a Dominican, I'm an immigrant. Here it's really difficult in Europe to be an immigrant from Dominican Republic, like really difficult. Even if I had like a work contract, it was really hard for me. And I didn't want to play the card. I had to marry my boyfriend to get, you know, the green card in Spain. But it was really hard. So we decided to move. Like, okay, let's start from scratch, from zero. It doesn't matter because the plan B is an amazing plan. And that was the story because we left Spain and then we started building here in the United States, both of us as an immigrant.
That's awesome. And did you move directly to Miami?
Yes, I was clear about that. Like the more I travel, the more I like Miami. Miami is home, but it's not home only because everybody speaks Spanish. It's home because for me, it's very convenient. Like I can go to DR in 2 hours. I can move around the world. I have like almost for every country that I travel, I have a direct flight. And also the time zone, you know, it's strategics, no? And also I had to be honest, because I live in Miami, it looked better, it looked me see better for my personal brand because Miami is like a good place, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's definitely. You fit right in there.
Oh, yes.
So you got into advertising, but I'm assuming you already did that. Sounds like you already did that in Spain. So then what was your plan when you came out to the US?
I thought that it was like keep selling digital courses, but my life went like an increase of lifestyle, and at that moment, I don't even can call like a lifestyle. It was like a, you know, rent, some clothes, something like really low because I used to have a lot of problem with money, you know, like false belief, and I was raised in a different way.
Let's get to that.
I know. It was really hard. I think I was like almost depressed because it was so expensive, US, compared to Spain. And I was like, why? We left that to this. This is so expensive. I was really mad, even with myself. And my husband was like, hey, this is easy, baby. We just need to charge more. Like we used to charge.
You just need to make more money.
Yes, it's like if we need more money to live, we need to charge more. And it was like, oh, so instead of charging $1,000 for a consultancy that I was charging at that moment, I start charging $3,000 or $5,000, and people were paying and they were happy. And I was like, oh, okay, this is working. But it was like a mindset, like a training that I had to do, because honestly, we used to live really well in Spain and it was so cheap to have like a good life there. But that switch, it was really great for us because I think like our mindset, it's like you have to keep like pushing to try to see. I don't want to break anything. I just want to keep pushing to see how bigger I can think. So we started doing that and we were like, maybe we should change from an apartment to a house. And I was like, are you crazy? That's gonna cost like 2x. And he was like, it's okay. We make more money. Yes, we diversify. And I was like, my husband is the one that he doesn't have fear, you know, for growth. He's fearless when we talk about growth. And at that moment, I was like, no, we need to save. And he was like, we need to invest. And I was like, I'm afraid. And he was like, if we don't invest, the money's going to disappear. And I was like, no, you know how hard it was for us to get this kind of money. So, and I thought like, okay, I should make more money. If I make more money, I would not be afraid.
Yeah.
And it was the worst thing because the more money you have, the more afraid you are to lose it. So yes, it was like a rough part of years. I think I can say that. But then when I got pregnant, it was magical. Like it was hard because I had to quit all the things that I was doing. I was in bed my whole pregnancy. It was crazy. Like medical record, it was perfect. But physically and mentally, I was like lost in bed. But that was the best part. After my daughter were born, like, I don't know, I have like more motivation. Everything like it's more perfect. I'm more happy than ever, you know? And it was like, oh, I don't have to work more. I just have to work better and smarter. So we discover like another logistic, and I promise you, like our success is even bigger because we have our daughter. And most people are afraid to have kids because they think like having kids is like no having success, or you have to choose between be a good mom and be a good entrepreneur. And for me, my mantra is I can have it all. I can be a badass entrepreneur, I can be a good wife, and I can be a good mom. So even a lot of moms that brag on social media, they are on social media. They are not spending time with their kids. Like me, when I'm with my daughter, I'm not on social media. I'm with my daughter. So that time for me, it's really valuable. So I think the best mentor that I have in my life is my daughter. Kids are like mentors. They're like for real. I truly believe in that.
I never realized how much they listen and pay attention to what we do. Like I had so many agent attraction calls in the car, right? And then one day, just for fun of it, I started asking Kobe these questions about EXP, and he's like started reciting like all of the answers. He knew all of the answers, and I'm like, wow. Oh my gosh, they listen. Like they actually, even though they act like they're on their phone, they listen. Like I think if I put that kid to Agent Attract for me at EXP, he could nail it. I think he has the answers to every question because of so many phone calls that they heard. And also, I'm super proud of him today because he's an entrepreneur today. He told me last week that he will never have a boss again. So he had two jobs. He had 2 jobs in his life. For first one, he got fired a week and a half. And the second one, he stuck it out. He did a good job. But then when we came back from Michigan, he's like, Mom, I'm just going to be my own boss. I'm never going to have a boss again. And he started his own company. And now he's power washing driveways and sidewalks and trash cans. And I'm so proud of him. So proud of him because they watch us, right? They watch us be our own boss so that it doesn't make sense in his head of like, you don't have a boss. Why do I have to have a boss? And I was like, good point. You don't. Imagine Vilma, if I knew what I know today at age 43, right? If I knew that when I was 17, like where could I be today, right? And why are we forcing our children to go get a job when they could just start their own business from the get-go? But that's a whole other conversation.
I know.
So let's figure out, like, I just want to kind of fast forward because in my world, since you're in the Spanish world, right, and you're very, very well known in the Spanish world, my listeners might not know who you are and what you do.
Yes, of course.
And how you got to where you are. So can we kind of just break it down like that 2, 3, 5 minute elevator pitch of what you have achieved in the past 9 years in the US?
Basically, because of my personal brand, I got even the green card here in the United States. People don't realize the power of a personal brand.
Okay, so let me ask you that. So did you already have the Vilma Núñez brand from Spain when you came over? Like you already had the digital marketing, the blogs and all that?
Yes. Imagine Vilma in 2015. I was like with my personal brand and it was good and I was doing good. So I got the green card before all this success that people see today. So imagine
okay, so tell me this. You got a green card to the US based on your personal brand. Shut the front door.
Yes. I applied to the AB1 visa and they got me the approval in 3 days. 3 days. Because Vilma was an expert in social media for small and medium businesses. That was the pitch from my lawyer firm to do the AB1 visa talent. People don't realize that their personal brand could open so many doors in this world. So they don't realize that. So I've been investing in my personal brand since I was an employee because my personal brand started and I was an employee in another agency in Spain. I asked for permission. They told me, yes, you can do it. And that was the beginning of my personal brand. And then when I finally quit at the job that I used to have in Spain.
For anyone who's not watching, because some people watch the show, this is on TV as well and on YouTube. Some people watching, my mouth was open this whole time. And then for those of you who are only listening through podcasts, let me tell you, my mouth was open the whole time. I did not know that.
Yes. That was the story because we went to the lawyer thinking like Jose, because he's from Spain, we could get the investor visa. And me, because if I marry him as the wife, I could get here legally too. That was the plan. And then the lawyer was like, no, forget about that. She can apply to the visa talent. I was like, girl, I'm an employee in an agency. Yes, I travel, I'm a speaker, but that's it. And she was like, no, your case is a good case, but you're an 80%. You need to work to get to 90 something, because even wise, I won't take you as a client. I was like, challenge accept. Tell me what I had to do. She was like, oh, you had to have more prizes. You had to be jury on social media contests. You had to do this. And I was like, check, check, check. And I remember that like a few months before we sent the paper, she was like, please stop. We don't need more. And I was like, girl, you told me to go to 90 something. I'm working on that. And she was like, no, your case is big enough. It's okay. We are going to get it. And I remember my mom, she was like, do you think that she's stealing money from you? Because remember, we are Dominican. This doesn't happen to us. And I was like, Mom. And she was like, is that a visa that maybe you have to renew? And I'm like, no, Mom, that's the green card. And the case is going to be the opposite. So my husband now owns a green card that said that he's married to a person with special talents. Yes. So it was like the opposite, you know? The case usually is the Dominican marry like a European guy or an American guy to get the paper. So the case was the opposite, because we were a team. And that's what people don't realize. Behind my personal brand, we have more than 60 people on my personal payroll, 60. So, and also my husband has been my partner since the first moment. And we are in this like entrepreneur journey together. So when you see someone that is really successful, think about the people that is behind. Yes.
There's the whole village.
The whole village. So yes, that was the story, and it was actually pretty cool. And because of my personal brand, I got the chance to create a corporate group where we have agencies, we have SaaS company, and we have online academies, and also we have an online college. I got the license from the Florida Education Department. So now we have bachelor's, and my dream is like soon we can have master degrees, and in the future even like Ph.D. because I truly believe in education. And I believe, because we're already doing it, AI with the regular traditional education is going to be so powerful, because you will know from the strategy and the methodologies, but now you can learn faster because the AI is already integrated in our life and in the education path also.
That's amazing. So you went from being a PhD yourself now to allowing other people who have the same opportunity through your own university.
I will. I'm working really hard for that. That college is going to be the future for my daughter. I don't know if the other company are going to be like growing or some exit. I don't know. But the college, that's the company that when my daughter gets 21, I say, here is the company that you don't have to manage the company because the company works. But if you want, that's your future. Because I believe that every single problem that we have in this world, it could be a medical problem, it could be marketing problem, with the right education, you will solve the problem, you will get through the problem.
That's amazing. From one immigrant to another, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, my love. Thank you.
But I agree. I couldn't do it without my team. I couldn't do it without my husband. My husband is my biggest cheerleader. I think it's very important to have a spouse that allows you and gives you freedom to create and be whoever you want to be, right? Like it requires, and I always say it requires a man.
Oh, yes, but the real man, because
a real man.
Yes, for me, the real man is the one that has a wife that shines, but he knows that he also can shine. It doesn't matter if his wife shines a lot. He has it on soul, on purpose, and we together, we can build something amazing. Mm-hmm. So that's for me the real man, not the man that go, I'm the man. No, I don't believe in that kind of masculinity. I think it's toxic, actually.
Yeah, I consider myself super duper lucky, right? And I have found a man who can, like, not only that, but like I'm a strong personality on top of it, right? And so it required a man to start with, but then we have a brand on top of it. And like, I went over to a neighbor's house yesterday, and she asked me, she's like, does your husband allow you to travel without him? And
That's the problem, girl. Like I travel.
I was like, oh, I don't ask him.
Yes.
Like, no, like we have freedom. Like he's free to do and live his life the way he wants to. We trust each other. I'm not checking his phone when he went on a fishing trip, right? Like he's not checking mine when I come home from my trip. Like I was like, oh, that's how it works for so I was like, I could not eat. My brain couldn't even go there.
Girl, I travel every week and I still receive DMs, people asking me, oh, your daughter, who is taking care of her? And I was like, if my husband was the one traveling, would you ask him who's taking charge, taking care of the kid? And people respond and they say, no, that's the problem. That we think that it's weird that the female, the mom, is the one traveling and not the dad, okay, is the one traveling. So I think what we need is like have more female leader brave enough to go through their dreams, even if people we try to take it down. Because honestly, when I go to the school of my daughter, I usually don't go because I know what is gonna be. People is like, oh, put of your little daughter because you travel that much. I'm like, did you see how happy is my daughter? My daughter is a happy kid, you know? Happy mom, happy kid. So don't you worry about my daughter. She's really great. She's fine. Don't you worry about that. But that's the problem. Yeah. Because I'm the one in front. I have followers. I have the business and I travel. I'm a bad mom by the papers.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I feel a little guilt at this moment, like literally at this moment, because upstairs, my youngest, he's 15, he's laying in bed with a fever. And you are my second podcast, and I had to prepare half an hour to that. So literally, I ran up there, I checked on him, I took up his vitamins, I checked he didn't have a fever, like medication reduced it. I have my assistant here, right, my house assistant. So she's mom right now. My husband has appointments too. So she's mom until I'm doing this. So there is a cost of paying, right? You can't be in multiple places at the same time. But at the same time, I think our children, we are teaching them to see that there is a price to pay if you want the good life.
And I think also maybe he's enjoying to be alone. Because when you are sick, don't you want someone like bothering you all the time? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Because yes, that's usually what I'm trying to see. Like, okay, I feel guilt right now, but let me look through the other part. Oh, maybe it's not a bad thing. Like I remember going to mastermind event and feeling like, oh, I miss my daughter. I was changing my tickets fly. And then someone told me, like, why? Your daughter is having fun with her grandma. Why are you feeling this bad? Is she calling you? No. Is she having a bad moment? No. So enjoy your moment. I was like, yes, I have to be present. When I'm doing business, I have to be present. And when I'm being a mom, I have to be present. So I think it's more like to try to see things like from different perspective, because otherwise guilt, it will consume you. It's like, and it's a really bad thing that happened to entrepreneur. We feel guilty all the time.
When Duke was 2 years old, 9 weeks old, we got into the hospital and we were in there for like 29 days. And we ended up being stuck in the hospital during Christmas, right? And so I felt so bad. And it was during that swine flu or whatever kind of flu. We were not allowed to leave the hospital. If we did, we could not come back. So I didn't want to leave my 9-week-old baby. But in the same time, I had a 2-year-old at home we were not there for Christmas, right? And I felt so bad, like the thing about mom guilt, right? And then Dwayne looked at me and he goes, do you even think he knows it's Christmas? And I realized, no, he doesn't. Children only know when Christmas is when we tell them when Christmas is. So he goes, honey, they're going to release us from the hospital next week. And then we'll have the best Christmas ever. And the kid won't even know that Christmas passed a week ago.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, they don't know. They don't know when their birthdays are. They don't know when Christmas is. They don't know when they're so young. They don't know. It's really just us that put all that pressure on ourselves. If we had to wait 3 more days to celebrate Christmas, then we'll celebrate 3 more days and he won't know any different.
Yes, that's true, baby. The other perspective. I try to see things in that way. And that helped me because when you are an entrepreneur, you're taking care of everybody. So one way of taking care of you, I paid a lot of therapists, like I promise you, and I do coaching every single Friday. That thing is really important for me. But then I discovered that I really need my me time and my time alone to reflect and think about those things. How many moments of my life I waste feeling guilty instead of living that moment and then being present when I had to be present. So yes, I feel you.
So what would you say are, let's say, 3 of your best habits that made you, that are the reason who you are today?
I think it's like, I'm a patient person, but I'm not a perfectionist person. Like, I do the thing, and I know that I can do better next time, but for me, it's like MVP. I go my life living an MVP. Like, it's gonna work? Yes, let's do it. And then we keep getting better. But so for so many people, they stuck. No, it has to be perfect. It has to be perfect.
I always think close enough is good enough. Let's go.
Yes, let's go. And then if we have to keep improving, I will do it. Even if it's perfect, I will keep it improving because that's the way that business and life works. So that's the first thing. And then the other thing is like, I'm really good like organizing my time because I don't want to be working on like 12 hours a day. I don't need that. Like people think like I work a lot and I only work like 4 or 5 hours a day. And even like I'm traveling, I'm creating all the time. I just download my ideas, I have my space to be a creator because I really believe that everybody is a creator. We just need to have the time to like put down everything. And also another thing that helped me a lot is like I sleep a lot. Like I enjoy the resting part. Like a lot of people think like you have to be like with a lot of energy all the time. I'm like, you can see me with a lot of energy and then I'm resting a lot. Like that's me time. I'm playing games on my phone. I'm watching a TV show. I'm just spending time with my family. So I use the Oura Ring, and it's really great for me. It say like, for example, last night I had a bad night sleep. So tonight I had to go early to sleep because sleeping it's as equal of important of being working really good at my job. So that's the thing that I try. Like I call it like assisted discipline. Like when you hire a mentor, a coach, a trainer. So right now we have a lot of softwares on our mobile that we can use. And that's what I use. Like I try to keep on track on my goals. Like, okay, I need to sleep. Or, okay, I'm doing fasting. Today I'm going to be doing almond, 1 meal a day. So I know that I had to do 22-hour fasting, but I have zero the app. That's my trainer, okay? Keep pushing, Vilma, you can do it. Keep pushing, you can do it. So that's what I recommend to people. When you know what you want to do, then you make it happen. But you need rituals, you need habits that you can stay on track. And another thing that changed my whole perspective with time was like every time I give to myself 6 minutes. Because if I don't have 6 minutes when I wake up, I'm not good with my calendar. So first thing, 1 minute grateful. I'm grateful for. Then I visualize. I was visualizing this podcast because it's in English. It's my third language. It's not like Spanish or Italian for me. So I was visualizing me. Then I was visualizing me on TV show because I have 2 TV shows today. Then I forgive myself and others. Because I discovered that when you are like, oh, this person was bad for me, all the time. That's something that I don't want in my life. I truly believe that doesn't belong in my life. Then I do 1 minute exercise, squat, dancing, whatever. I move my body to remember to my body that is so good to move. And of course, I can do other things in that moment. But one of the things that I never like postpone is to read my yearly goals. Because when you don't read your yearly goals every day, you will be doing things that is not going to get you where you want to get. So I remember myself, what are my priorities? And after I do that ritual, instead of like eating that frog, that doing like the hardest task of the day at the beginning, I don't do that. I do a lot of delegating things, so I feel like I'm a winner and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's been 30 minutes working. Look what I've already done. And then I go to my prime time and I do that task. I do whatever is important to me. But before I train myself, you're a winner. You're amazing. You are a great person managing their time. So that's the way that things work for me. I recommend that everybody design their rituals, decide which habits in which moment, because it depends. Like I try to do this every day, but sometimes I don't feel it. So I have to change, my rituals and my habits.
Oh, I love it. So I wrote down 5. I must have missed the last one. So I wrote down number 1, being grateful. Then number 2, visualize. Number 3, forgive. Number 4, exercise. Number 5, read your yearly goals. And number 6?
Yes, me falta una. Yes, it's the other that I don't remember right now. But I will, don't worry.
Text me and we'll put it right under the episode.
Yes, because I have even the infographic, but I will remember, don't worry, before we finish the podcast.
Sounds good. I love it. I have my little ritual too. For me, I love to be by myself, just like you do. I need a little me time, right? So I start every morning. I wake up before everybody else. I'm not an early morning person because my whole family is in the late morning. So I don't have to wake up early to wake up before them, right? Because they're going to wake up at 10, 11 o'clock. So I usually wake up 8:30 and I get a little time with my coffee, with myself, with my thoughts. I look at my calendar the night before so I know what my day looks like.
I do that the night before, always. Like leaders, they plan the day before. They don't plan like in real time. They're flexible, but they don't plan in real time. Yes.
No, like today I had to wake up an hour earlier because I was too lazy, too tired. I didn't feel like washing my hair last night. And I know, I'm like, if I have to wash my hair and do my hair and do my makeup and be on time and all the preparation and prior, I'm like, that requires at least an hour. So I woke up 2 hours before I usually wake up, just so I can be done today, right? But if I didn't look at my calendar last night, I would have not known what, the 2 hours, and I would look pretty hip right now. My hair would not be as pretty. I just said about
I know. Like we have to do so many things. Like I went to the TV and they were like, "Oh, you don't need makeup and hair," and I'm like, "No, I already did. I'm prepared." And they were like, "Ah, okay." But then I had to wait for 2 hours there. Like me, so boring. Like because usually people don't get prepared, and I was like, me. I'm ready. I have a day with success. That's me. I dress for success because every day I have a date with my success.
I remember when I met you, you looked like $1 million in your green dress.
Yes, that's me. That's me all the time because I believe in that.
Yeah, I was in my red jeans and a tank top. But still,
girl, you were looking amazing.
Ripped jeans and a tank top. I'm still in my ripped jeans and a tank top. That's my thing.
And I told you, if you feel that that's good, it's gonna work. Yeah. Sometimes I wanna wear like also jeans and sneakers, and if I feel it, baby, it's like wearing the most expensive dress in the world because I feel it.
Yeah, but you like to dress up. That's your thing. Where for me, it's like I like to be comfortable, and I impress with my brain. I say usually, so I'm like, I don't care what I look like. I'm just as smart in ripped jeans than I am in a sassy dress. But don't get me wrong, I can dress up too. So
I know.
Let me ask you one more question. What are those things that, and then we both have to go. What are those things? Events, masterminds, books, coaching. What are those maybe? And probably there's multiple, right? That kind of was significant in your life.
Look, I had to be honest. In 2024, I quit masterminds. For one reason. I was tired to be a transaction and not having a relation with the mentors. So I'm in this moment in my life, like me, leaving my daughter, to go to a mastermind event. It has to be really important for me. And also, it was kind of like, let me put it like in a good way. It's still a male industry, And usually I wasn't feeling the respect that was mutual and the admiration. So I was paying my money and they were also always looking at my husband. So what's your business? They thought that I was like the trophy wife. And I was tired of spending thousands and thousands of dollars and be only a transaction. So I decided to stop it. And what I'm doing right now is, because I have a speaking career, I'm investing more time in networking lunch and dinners. And at that moment, I always have one question. If I can ask you one question that will move my needle, what question will be? Because maybe you don't have the answer, but you know someone that had the answer, and that's gonna work too. But before asking to other, that's my networking step by step. I can give value about digital, personal brand, the topics that I'm good at. Then I ask one question, because people is like so hungry for success that they want like have a free mentorship, and then deal. So you give, then you ask, and then if it's meant to be, it's gonna be a deal. Just like you and I, we met and we are doing this podcast and it's amazing. But we give value to each other, and then we can ask something, and then we can make a deal. So that's what I do. So right now, I stop all the mastermind, and what I'm doing is those dinner, because I discovered that the people that I most admire, they're not good on social media. They are not good with the digital part. So it's perfect. I can give something to them, and they can give something to me. So it's perfect. Right now, one of my biggest mentors is John Maxwell, because he's an author. Yes, 38 millions of books sold. So I'm building my career, and I'm really committed with my career as an author. So yes, they hired me for an event that they had in Colombia like last month, and I was having lunch with him, and I was like asking one question, but he gave me like a free whole mentorship because he's really committed to see other leaders succeed, not only him, right? And that was amazing. And what I do, I share with their team about digital, things that I think that he could do to make more impact through digital and social media. So that's what I'm doing right now, reading a lot and investing my time, okay? But I had to also be honest. Usually I had to pay to be in the room. Now, because of my personal brand, again, I get to be invited for free to be in that table, in that room.
So that was my follow-up question. If you were not Vilma today, right? Because if you did not have a brand, and if you don't get invited and you don't get the seat at the table, right? You can't just like call someone up. I actually messaged someone. I was so surprised. Okay, let me tell you this. There's this person that I follow. I'm not going to share names. It is a gentleman.
Okay, please.
And he lives down here in, when I realized that he lives down here in Tampa, I was like, no way, he lives in Tampa. So I messaged on Instagram and I said, hey, I know you're busy, but if there's ever a chance that we could have lunch, I would love the opportunity, right? I got back probably one of the rudest responses I have ever got from someone. I was like, whoa, like that's just in my mind changed his character so much. And now I can't even get myself to watch his videos anymore. But then that also made me question, I'm like, who do I think I am to reach out to a person who has more followers than me and blah, 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 right? To ask him out for lunch. And I'm thinking to myself, who does he think he is to be that rude to another human being that just, you could have said something like, I am so sorry, I'm so booked for the rest of my life.
Yes.
Instead of, he pretty much said something like, I don't meet strangers off of the internet or something like that. And I was like, whoa, so you're not the person who you portray to be.
That's the thing. A lot of people are only thinking about in the transactional part, and they forget that we are people doing business with people. And I'm sorry that you have that experience, but also something that is going on right now is like between male, they respect each other. But because I'm a female, I got like a lot of problems all the time. Like they say things to me that if I were a man, they would never say that to me.
Okay.
And you know that.
So
and you know that.
Here's my question to you, and we do not have to air this part if you don't want to. We can just stop right here. When we were at that event, not to say names, did you have the same feeling?
Of course. And that make me realize that my decision to not pay for any more mastermind was the best decision ever, because this is about respect. And even if you are in a better position than me, that you can be, and I'm not talking only about money, I'm talking about, like happiness, fulfillment, all the things in your life that are meaningful for you. You don't have to treat other in a way that you will never like to be treated. So that's something that even my daughter, with 6 years old, when I talk to her in a way that she doesn't like, she said, "You cannot tell me in that way, mommy. It's not fair." Okay, and she said, "You are my mom, and I get it, but you should be talking to me better." My daughter, 6 years old, 6 years old. So I don't like when people don't treat you with respect. I'm just waiting for respect. And that was like the moment. And we both...
Yeah, I walked out of there thinking the same thing. I was like, I didn't get as much as, "Hey, by the way, what's your name? What do you do?"
No. But it's okay. But because at the beginning, honestly, I had to do like a coaching session after that. I promise you. I'm going to be honest. Every time that something bothered to me, I'm not going to like put it like, okay, under the rug. No. I confront that problem. Why was that bothering so much to me? Because that could be any person that did something that I didn't like, anybody. But it wasn't anybody first. And second, it was because my whole career as a female entrepreneur, I've been like, this is like a battle. I'm always have to like do the double of the job because I'm an immigrant, then I'm a Latino, then I'm a female. And it's like, I was just so tired, And that was a good lesson. I just need to put my limits and understand and to do the same things that you did. You cannot watch that person the same way that you used to be. And maybe I was admiring that person. Now I admire their success, their knowledge, but I just disconnect from the person because now I know that people try to sell themselves in a way, but maybe they are not that way, and that could happen. Okay.
Yeah, it was surprising to me that we all got in there in the same way. Top 10 influencers in the nation, but we were not treated the same way.
But it's okay. That things happen, and it make me realize that we have to keep doing the job. Okay.
Oh gosh, it doesn't affect me whatsoever. It's just, if anything, I think we just need to work harder at changing the industry's views. Like maybe it's on us. Maybe us women need to just grow a set of balls.
And I was quiet about that topic, but I think that's the problem, that we stay quiet. And and I usually be quiet because I don't want to play the victim card because I'm not a victim. I don't like that part, okay? But then I discovered that maybe we should be talking about that because some other people are living that same situation and maybe they quit because one of those situations. For me, it's made me stronger, okay, after the therapy and after, the whole process of reflecting on that topic. But for other people, it could be like, for me, it was a sign that I was right about my decision. But for other people, it could be a sign, quit. This is not meant for you. Leave the male doing what they are doing. And the thing that bothered me most is like others really treat you with respect and help you. And they're your cheerleaders because I had both sides, okay? But I'm always just expecting like if I treat you well with respect, you treat me the same way. It doesn't matter that you are in a better situation than me. I deserve respect. And I think that every single person in this world deserves respect.
Well, I couldn't agree more with you, darling, but we are at the hour. So as a closing statement, maybe what is if someone wants to be Vilma, what do you think they need to do today?
I think it's gonna be pursuing progress, like because I think we all want like a better lifestyle. We all want like more money, like the financial dream, whatever. But I discovered that first, yes, maybe money doesn't buy happiness, but there are a few studies that already said that if you earn more than, you are more happier than other people. But I truly believe that it's not like money will buy you happiness. It's because you are happy, you're a magnet, and you will attract a lot of opportunity. And I promise you, the more happier I am, the more opportunity I attract to my life. So that's what I encourage everybody. Pursue your happiness, pursue your progress. And then the money, the success, the fame, if you want to be famous, that will get to you. Yeah, that will follow to you. So that's what I do. And like I wake up every morning. Oh, yes, I remember. I told you that I will remember all this stuff. Yes, this is what I do. I just do this every single morning, 1 minute.
Breathe.
Yes, but with a smile face, because I will remember to my mind the good feeling of being happy. And happiness is a daily decision, just like my marriage. I say to my husband, I decide today again that I want to be with you. Every day I decide I want to be happy. That's a decision first. And then my action will get me to that kind of happiness, right? But that was the other part of my ritual.
We got all 6. Okay.
I told you.
One more time. 1 minute to be grateful. 1 minute to visualize what you want. 1 minute to forgive yourself and others. 1 minute to exercise. 1 minute to read your yearly goals. And lastly, number 6, 1 minute to breathe with a happy face.
Yes, that's it. We got it.
We got it. Vilma, thank you so much for your time today. I know you're a very busy person. It took us a few months to figure this time out.
Yes, but we got it finally. We got it.
Thank you so much. And thank you for, bringing your time and talent, shedding light on entrepreneurship as an entrepreneur, because it's a little bit more complicated for us than it is for the rest of the world. And thank you for teaching me about the 81 visa, the talent visa. I did not know that.
Yes, a lot of people could do that if they believe more in themselves.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vilma.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you guys for watching. It would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel and also stay tuned so you can watch the next video.